morning everybody, and welcome to another day. I have already gotten all the horses in and fed and everything, and now I'm headed back to the house. I gotta flip the drag the arena, lunge some horses, bathe some horses, ride some horses. It's just gonna be a busy day. So I'm getting ready to work Belle, and one of you had requested that I do a mane care video. I'm gonna do like a proper full one when I start that second channel, but today I'll give just sort of an overview because as you can see, this one needs rebraiding really badly. So I'm gonna give her a bath after I work her, and then I will rebraid her and I will show you everything real quick. Hair care. So the first thing that you should know about hair, if you're trying to grow your horse's mane out long, is that a large part of it is genetics, and there are some horses that no matter what you do, they're not going to grow long hair, especially like Appaloosas and things. There are things you can do to help it, but there's nothing you can do. Like if your horse isn't genetically predisposed to growing a mane like a Gypsy Vanner, it won't ever grow a mane like a Gypsy Vanner. Most of these things will help you, but they won't necessarily work every single time. Rule number one after, genetics is don't brush their hair daily. That's one thing that I see a lot with people is they want to brush their horses' manes and tails. Don't do it. Don't do it. That is a once in a while thing if you want to grow their hair out like this, because it breaks the hair really easily. And I'll show you now some of the bathing stuff that we do and the care. So having a horse with really long mane and tail is a huge commitment. Like this is not one of those things that you just kind of do and then it's just like that. Like this is something you have to maintain, you have to keep it up, that sort of thing. So this is a big project. All right, step one, unbraid. If you're anything like me, this is the part where you are now aching to take a brush and brush through this before you wash your horse. Don't do it. Any major knots, do with your fingers. You can just comb through it. You can just go like this. And when you need to, you can just get in there and really just, fix it. Don't brush it, especially right now. At this point, the conditioner will do most of this for you, so you just start washing. All right, so I wash mainly with Orvis, which mine has been sitting out, so it's nice and faded. Orvis, and then I condition with just conditioners that I buy at the store, conditioners for people hair. One important thing that I will mention about shampooing and conditioning is when you shampoo the horse's mane, you can shampoo the whole thing to kind of get this dirt, especially up here, this stuff, this dirt that grinds in, and then all the dirt down here. When you're conditioning, only condition from about here down. Don't condition up here because that makes yucky, oily mess. It's just not good. So just condition from here down. All right, once you've got your mane all clean and combed out with your fingers and everything, the next step I do is I use this stuff. A lot of people use MTG to help grow hair and keep hair healthy, but in Florida it's too hot and the sun will just burn their skin. So I like to use this stuff, and it smells great too. It smells kind of like a pina colada. It's really good. With this stuff, you can either use it as a conditioner or you can use it as a leave-in product. It does say on here somewhere that you can leave it in. And what I do is I put a little bit of this in a spray bottle, and then I water it down and I spray it directly into the base of the mane, and I just leave it in there. So I'll show you that now. now that I've got it all mixed up and everything, I just spray it onto the base of the mane. And rub it in. The main point is to get it on the scalp. It doesn't really matter if it's on the hair. What really matters is if it's down here. So what I usually do too is I'll flip the mane over and I'll spray it on here again and just rub that in really well. So we're gonna flip all this over, just like that. And then we're gonna spray. And then we rub it in, and then she's good to go. All right, the last step is braiding, and one of the things that people seem to do a lot is they'll have a horse with a mane that's like really short and they'll start braiding it because they see that I braid, but all that braiding does is it keeps the hair from getting tangled so that you don't have to mess with it. So you don't have to comb it so that it doesn't get tangled and knots and parts of it pulled out. So if your mane isn't very long, braiding is not going to do anything. If your mane is to a point where you feel the need to brush it because it starts to get tangled and everything, go ahead and start braiding it. And just do little braids, little sections of braids. And I'll talk to you more about that in a minute once I get the braids done. Alright, she's all braided up. I braid pretty tightly because that way I don't have to do it as often, and it also helps it not get snagged on things. If it's really tight, there's nothing for things to get through. So I braid quite tightly. Also, I only braid until the hair starts to get thinner. I don't make the tiny little bitty baby braids because I think that that does more damage to the hair than good, so I leave that. Once it starts to get thin, I stop braiding. So you see all these are a little bit uneven, just depends on the thickness of the mane. Another thing is that some of my horses, you'll see I have theirs in little buns. I only do that when the mane gets long enough to where if they're grazing, it gets in their mouth. So she's not quite to that point yet. But once they get to that point, I start bunning it up. That way they don't chew it off. But with her mane right now, she's good, just braids. So there she is, all done. Let's get some fly spray on this pony. There are lots of products as well that I like for hair care. Like there's specific shampoos and things that I would prefer to use, but with having this many horses to keep up, it just gets kind of pricey and I'm not made of money, so I don't often have them. But some of the things I like are the Equifuse products. Those ones are really good. All of their products I really like. The Equifuse Gleam, the Equifuse Rehydrants, those ones, like, I mean, they make a horse shine and they're really good for the hair. Their shampoos are really good for the hair. So I recommend all of those products, especially if you've just got one horse. Those will last a little bit longer, but with this many horses, I just go through them too quickly. So it's just not worth it. Okay, a lot of people offer supplements that they say will help with hair growth and that sort of thing. I've tried tons of them. The only one that I've ever used that I actually felt like was doing something that made a difference beyond just what I normally do to the hair is Biomane, and I'll put a link to that below. I really like that product. I used it when I had Anthem and Owen here, and both of them grew tons of hair really quickly, and I felt like it was at least partially from that product. The only problem with it right now is that the shipping on it is about half the cost of the product, which just makes it cost prohibitive for me. But I really like the product, and if you can afford it, maybe if you're closer, the shipping won't be so high. I really recommend that product. Anyway, so there you have it. That's hair care. Cute! What has you so convinced that you get to go to the barn, huh? Why are you so sure of it? You think you're gonna go to the barn? Do you think you're gonna go to the barn? Yeah, of course you are. Andre's off of restriction. Hopefully he won't keep sneaking away. becoming super lazy because we're both super tired, and we're just gonna go pick up sushi instead of cooking tonight. Matthew is a crab. What's his name?
Zoidberg.
Zoidberg. Why not Zoidberg? Oh, don't tell Zoidberg we're having sushi. I love you. You're a crazy man. Bye. Matthew's wearing his PJs. Sushi, 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 shampoo! Ah! Oh, the sunrise is coming out of your mouth. Now you're eating trees. Now you're eating cars.
We got some sushi, yeah. Laundry day, on and off, the things, tumbling, one shave, love your hair, here we go, mumbling, with my please pray I will mount the phone. With my please pray I will find the time to find the words, tell you how you make me feel.
You're nuts.
What's the phrase?
You're nuts. You're cute too, though.
With my please pray I will stop